Let's take a look at the top 10 Norwegian movies of all time. Number 10. The King's Choice. This follows the 3 days in April 1940 when Germany invaded Norway and the king had to decide what to do. It's sort of like the Norwegian version of the King's Speech, and I really enjoyed learning more about King Haakon VII and his son who became King Olav V, and the dynamic between the two. April 1940. Norway has been invaded by Germany, and King Haakon VII, the royal family and government have fled into the interior of the country. The German envoy to Norway, Kurt Brauer, tries to negotiate peace. Ultimately, the decision on Norway's future will rest with the king. This is a gripping character-driven film that provides a fascinating glimpse into Norway's war history. The film turns out to be a beautifully photographed and thoughtful nail-biter, suspenseful. The film has already been a critical and commercial success in Norway, undoubtedly because it retrieves a stirring piece of Norwegian history. Number 9. Ohorden. This is another super touching movie about an old man, this time Ohorden, a train conductor who is forced into retirement. I was shocked no one I spoke to had seen this one, it's seriously so good. Odd Horton is dependable and contained. He's a train driver retiring after 40 years of service, living a simple life. His idea of adventure is to fly from one city in Norway to another. Starting on the night of his retirement dinner, Odd has a series of dislocating experiences. A boy insists that Odd sit by his bedside while he falls asleep. Misadventure causes Odd to miss his last run. This is a film unique and intriguing in its own special way. The apparent lack of emotions of the story indeed tells of so many emotions and speaks so many words unspoken. It entertains from start to finish and tells a story that is not just fun but in its inimitably gentle way has something to teach us all as well. Number 8. Kon-Tiki. An interesting story fueled by one man's ambition to give historical accuracy to an island that he loved. A well-crafted retelling of an epic true story, Kon-Tiki is a throwback to old-school adventure filmmaking that's exciting and entertaining in spite of its by-the-book plotting. Norwegian adventurer Thor suspects that the South Sea Islands were originally colonized by South Americans. In 1947, despite his fear of water and inability to swim, Thor decides to prove his theory. He and 5 companions set sail from Peru on a balsa wood raft built from an ancient design. Their only modern equipment is a radio, and they must navigate using the stars and ocean currents. After 3 exhausting months at sea, they achieve their goal. Especially the camera work and direction are excellent. The script could have used some refining here or there. Thor is portrayed as oddly arrogant protagonist. Still, a nice film. Number 7. Reprise. Fueled by literary aspirations and youthful exuberance, 2 competitive friends endure the pangs of love, depression, and burgeoning careers. Reprise is the story of 2 aspiring writers, Philip and Eric, who both submit their manuscripts to a publishing house, resulting in the acceptance and overnight success of Philip's novel, while Eric's is returned to him rejected. The film tells of youthful aspiration, unanticipated tragedy and what consequences this has on young people as they try to make a path for themselves through life. This film is intellectual without being arrogant, hip and stylish without being pretentious, and brimming with youth and energy without being juvenile. This is an extremely proficient effort for a director's first film, which combines sensitivity and dry humor, style and emotional understanding, excellent acting and cinematic control. Number 6. The Wave. A geologist and his family live near a scenic mountain pass in Norway. When it collapses, an 85-meter tidal wave descends upon them, threatening their existence. The Wave is one of the best disaster movies I have ever seen. Unlike other disaster movies which is just about the action, this movie isn't. This movie is inclusive of family, emotions and based on science fiction. The story is constructed in a modern theme with loads of action and expectations just skyrockets as we proceed with the movie. While The Wave is an incredibly well-made movie, perhaps even the most well-made in the genre, it still falls into the clichés. That doesn't make this less engaging. On the contrary, it's a suspense-filled, the viewer waiting for what this has been advertised of. And the effects will not disappoint you. The human story, as predictable as it is engaging too. I'd highly recommend checking it out if you're looking to be entertained. Number 5. Headhunters. An accomplished headhunter risks everything to obtain a valuable painting owned by a former mercenary. Roger is a human resources manager in a large company and has a wonderful home and a beautiful wife, Diane, who owns an art gallery. But he lives in greater luxury than he should. In order to continue this, he has a second job, art theft. This was one of the strangest, most original heist movies I have ever seen. The film is extremely densely plotted. There's no lazy writing here. Every scene is relevant to and adds to the plot in some way. The pace is lightning fast and there are few moments to breathe. There's excitement, danger and extreme violence. Even better, the movie reveals in its moments of the bizarre, garnering laughs together with the gasps along the way. This is one movie you shouldn't miss. A highly recommended, although too bloody, high-quality thriller for everybody. Number 4. Elling. This is a quirky film about an unlikely pair of roommates learning to function in society. This is a delightful, charming, touching little film that most people will find entertaining. Two grown men are released from a state home and set up in their own apartment in Oslo. Watching their somewhat tortuous adjustment to normal life is both painful and amusing. Lead character, Elling, stumbles upon his innate talent of writing poetry, but his fear of recognition forces him to be quite creative in finding his audience. Roommate Kjell is a sweaty mechanic with a heart of gold and stated desire to meet girls. Their journey is intertwined with guidance from a previously famous writer, their social caseworker, and a pregnant neighbor. A gentle and heart-rending comedy and drama. I loved the character development of Elling and his friend. This film had so much humanity and eccentricity. Number 3. Trollhunter. I always recommend this movie to foreigners visiting Norway because it's a great introduction to Norwegian culture and humor. It's a mockumentary about a group of university students attempting to document the adventures of a troll hunter. Believe the hype on this movie. It is one of the best found footage movies around. It follows from an original idea, a plausible reason for filming and a compelling story. The acting is convincing as well. While investigating reports of illegal poaching, 3 student filmmakers encounter a man, Otto Jespersen, who slays trolls for the Norwegian government. The usual bunch of green college students are our introduction into this film's world, where trolls roam rural Norway and it's up to Hans, a dedicated troll hunter, to find them and slay them. Much of the film's effectiveness is down to Otto Jespersen, whose portrayal of the titular role is the stuff of brilliance. Number 2. Oslo, August 31st. One day in the life of Anders, a young recovering drug addict, who takes a brief leave from his treatment center to interview for a job and catch up with old friends in Oslo. In the interview, he admits to being a drug addict and storms out. He then wanders the streets of Oslo for the rest of the day and night, meeting, and sometimes confronting, people from his past. A brilliant demonstration of the complex and interwoven concepts of addiction, morality, personal responsibility and relationships. A highly realistic, intimate view of a young man who has completed a drug abuse program and is trying to rejoin his life. It's a rough ride, sometimes boring, sometimes raw, but it's the real thing, and if you have an interest in this kind of common problem without watching a documentary, this is the movie. Utterly convincing and captivating. An instant indie classic. I definitely recommend this to anybody interested in a strong dialogue and character-driven film. Number 1. Kitchen Stories. This is probably my favorite Norwegian movie, it is just the sweetest. It's based on what apparently were real experiments conducted in the 1950s where Swedish researchers observed Norwegian bachelors in an attempt to modernize the home kitchen. Isak is one of these bachelors, very grumpy about having a stranger in his kitchen, but he and the researcher end up forming an odd sort of friendship and adventures ensue. A very touching film that reminds us how 2 different people can still become friends. This film will resonate with people that find themselves alone at the last stages of their lives, and how they are changed by opening up to perfect strangers who are going through the same thing themselves. This movie is a beautiful portrait of an unusual and lovely friendship. It is touching, heartwarming, very funny, and just flat out great. It is the best Norwegian film I have seen so far. If you ever get a chance to see it, go immediately. If you enjoyed this video and would like more similar content, be sure to like and subscribe.